Welcome to Modern Mommies here on soulgarden.tv. I am Alexis Ann Moore, the mother of a beautiful 3-year-old child, the creator of the Superhero Children Project, and an opinionated mother. And with me, I've got my lovely co-host, Jennifer Perry, who is the mother of 3 amazing teenagers, and is a school counselor in the Dallas school system after 17 years working in the Dallas public school system. How's it going, Jennifer?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Wonderful to see you, as always.
You too, definitely.
And joining us, we've got Jennifer Piatzik. Crap! How do I say your name? Piatzik, right? It's a really cool name.
Piatzik.
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 It's really polished.
Well, I love that last name. Jennifer, I have just met you, but we've met a couple of times now, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your info and things that that you know about, because I met your son, and he's really a cool kid. And I've seen some posts of yours on Facebook talking about unschooling, which I am all about, so we're going to have you on to talk about that sometime, too. But wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me both of you.
All right. Well, so this week on Modern Mommies, we're going to be discussing maybe dispelling fear, but really we're going to be talking about all this stuff that's coming up over and over and over again about possible martial law and conspiracy theories left and right, and is it right? Is it crazy? What's going on? What in the heck is going on with Walmart? We're going to be talking about
Monsanto.
I just introduced the topic, and normally whatever. So hi, everybody. So then we're going to be talking about Monsanto, GMOs, pesticides, and then introducing you to a really cool guy named Paul Stamets, who is a magic mushroom guy. He is an amazing healer with mushrooms. He has an incredible line, and has come up with something that could blow Monsanto out of the water. So we're going to introduce you to that guy. And then we're going to be sharing with you some Mommy the Mommy DIY home beauty recipes. Things you can just open the fridge and slap on your face and feel wonderful. And you can do it right there at home for pennies. We're going to be sharing those with you. And then, of course, we're going to have our Hot Daddy of the Week. So stay tuned for that. But to get us started, so Jennifer Perry, so what are some of the things you've been hearing about with all of these, like, what in the heck, this martial law, are they going to take our guns, and what's with the coffins, and
Yeah, okay, I have to be honest, when I started researching all of this, I really had no idea what was even going on. And so I started with the whole what's going on in Walmart, because I guess last week there were 7 Walmart stores that were closed abruptly without any warning, and they were all cited for plumbing repairs. And so the employees were fired or laid off, given 2 months severance, and the Walmarts were just closed. The next day, people from the town started reporting that they saw a lot of military equipment and military jeeps come in there. They blacked out the window, and all sorts of construction things started going on. And so people kind of started to get a little paranoid. The reason they were paranoid is because there's some practice that's called the JDM Project, or JDM 15, and that I didn't really know a lot about, but what it is from July 15th to September 15th, in like 9 states in the United States. It's Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, Mississippi, Florida, and Louisiana. They're having mass practices with like all 4 of the branches of military, where they're having mock training sessions on how to deal with like insurgents and how to infiltrate an area. So they're doing it under the guise of training.
And isn't it also, I read about that, and I wrote down this quote from the article. It said that the military's calling this, it's in response to what the military calls the evolving nature of warfare, and that it is, their exercises for like controlling groups.
Yeah, controlling groups. There are tests with.
Yes, Jennifer Adair.
Warfare on who? The American people?
Exactly what I'm wondering, because evolving warfare, even if that's not involving us, that would mean civilians, because this is like civilian control. So
Yes.
so either one or the other. Either they're saying evolving warfare means like taking out civilians somewhere else, which
Yes.
obviously, okay, that's not what
Well,
this is
that's
about, but
they're saying it's to prepare them to go fight like in places like Afghanistan. What people in
Well, if you followed the conspiracies throughout, at least I've started paying attention in the last 5 years, and if you follow those, anytime that the government is pulling off a training exercise, there's always something that happens in the real as that's going on. It's like distraction. They want people to have their guard down, and they go and do their dirty.
You know what also is standing out? Like when you were talking, Jennifer Perry, when you were naming the states, I was thinking, are those the states that a handful of years ago we were like building a wall and a fence and stuff, and like, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. My mind connects memories, things I remember hearing about before, but it's like, who's that fence for? Because what's the deal with immigration right now? And like, do we have a fence going up? Who is it to keep in? Why are we so confused? You know, like, that's really what the deal is. The deal isn't so much about what's going on, because we could get so deep in fear trying to follow all this stuff. The deal is that, you know, like, people give people a hard time and call you conspiracy theorists because you're trying to figure it out. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a lion mama, okay? And I will protect my kid, and I don't care who it's against. I do not care who it's against, and I will go above and beyond. And so if I'm starting to feel like somebody is encroaching on the protection of my child, like, I'm going to pay attention. Unfortunately, there's so many different places to look that, like, you might be spouting truth here, like chemtrails. Is that still called conspiracy theory? Because there's scientific evidence. That's like a thing. That's no longer a theory. That's proven. It's proven. So you could be looking at that.
Right.
Also pick up information about something over here that ends up being insane and not true. Like when we were talking about the Ebola outbreak and how there was that town in Texas that had been quarantined, and then I called them and they were like, no, we have not been quarantined. So that makes you look like a fool when you are talking like that. And then people are like, see, you're a conspiracy theorist. But really, like, you're supposed to be questioning.
Yes.
Well, and so much of what's put out there, is, you know, there's truth in almost all of it, but then there's the sprinkling of mistruths or exaggerations put out there to lend doubt and cause confusion, to throw people off of the trail of the truth. And that's intentional. I personally was following all this stuff very closely to the point that I was like, oh my God, I need to sell my house and I need to go move to, you know, central Mexico or some other country, and, you know, it's just going to be this big nasty thing. And I said, oh, I can't live like this, you know. And so I chose to take the view of spirit and just put it in faith that whatever happens is going to happen, and I'm not going to live my daily life in fear. I want to be aware, but I don't want to be fearful, and that the fear feeds the negative in this world, and it's so much better for us just to be educated, but not to get caught up in fear and not let it, you know, disrupt our lives to a large degree.
That's absolutely true. And, you know, like, taking it to I always take things to a science level, because from the microcosm to the macrocosm, everything works like a society, you know? Like, so if you can see how atoms and cells and stuff work and communicate with each other, and then see how humans do and how the stars and planets do, it's all like the same kind of thing. And like, the science of this, to me, I was looking at it today, like, what would it look like to have a peaceful world and not be dealing with all this stuff? And it's not so much a problem of us versus them, or like good versus evil. What it is that collectively we have been maintaining this frequency of destruction and bullshit. Okay? So it's not so much about us fighting against them, Okay? It's a matter of us collectively raising our frequency to some other experience. We have chosen this experience. It totally sucks. We are now no longer going to choose it. And then once you start to elevate yourself up to a higher level, like of love and creating the things that you actually want, be the change you want to see, all those other people just kind of disappear. I don't know where they go, but in my life that happens when I elevate. Like all the negative people just kind of like no longer exist in my realm. And maybe we could do that. So just don't let them scare you. Teach your kids how to love themselves and treat themselves well. You don't end up buying all their crap either once you start like celebrating your body and your soul and your everything. Like I don't buy McDonald's. I don't, pay money to these corporations that don't love us. Nestle, by the way, very funny, on Christopher Witecki's Soul Garden Namaste Today. So like every morning when I watch it, Nestle is the commercial saying Nestle is love. And I'm like, Nestle is not love.
Nestle is a liar.
When you give someone a bottle of Nestle, you're giving them a bottle of love, is kind of like, that's what they're saying. Like, oh my God, I will not buy your stuff.
No.
It's just a constantly manipulation by the marketers. That's one of the things that's so evil and nasty. There's no scruples, and there's always that little bitty, teeny print disclaimer.
Right. If even that. So like Chipotle, though, like companies like Chipotle and whoever that guy was that like decreased his CEO salary and made $70 grand a year, the minimum wage at his company. I don't even know what company it is, but like that guy rocks. Chipotle rocks. They are now completely GMO free, and it happened like almost overnight, like considering corporate stuff. So we can be supporting these people and celebrating them and like feeding them our energy, and then
our votes.
learn to like make our own stuff so that you don't. You know what? Hey, moms out there and dads out there and other people that know kids. Go watch The Story of Stuff. It's a YouTube video, and it will really put your mind in order on the views of corporate society and marketing and how they're just kind of like controlling you and what you buy. And when you can see that, you can separate yourself from it and no longer buy into that, and we can create something else. It's really fun.
And teach your children. That's something that I have taught William from an early age, that those people are telling you those things. They don't care about you on these commercials. They're just trying to make things seem fun or better than they are or good for you. And it's just to get you to buy their stuff. They don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
the people that are eating, Hershey's candy bars, and they look so fit and they're just so happy. Okay, the candy bar is not going to make you happy. Where's the 300, 400-pound obese clothes-in? Because that's the reality of that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son asked me the other day why people make poisonous bad food for kids. Like, we were reading The Never-Ending Story. He's 3.5, and we're almost through this novel. And in the story, the main character drinks this red drink, and my son sits up and he goes, "No, that's got red dye in it." And I went, "Oh no, poor baby, I've taught you too well. Just relax." Okay. Cool, man. But he asked me, why do people make bad food for children? And I said, well, it's because all they know is they want money. It doesn't matter what they're selling. They just want you to give them money. And so that's all that they care about. That's all they know. And so it's our job to decide who we're going to give our money to and see what gets created.
It's our job.
We've been doing a really good job. Huh?
It's our job to take our power back.
Yeah, and we've been doing a good job. If you see this with Chipotle and that guy with the salary, all that, and you're seeing McDonald's is like closing down hundreds of shops, and yeah, good things are happening.
People are voting with their dollars. People are voting with their dollars now.
And that's the only way we can. That and our joy. So speaking of kids and saying weird things, I am going to start throwing in, I'm going to see if it works today, but a new segment called My Kid Said What? Since I've got a 3.5-year-old, I have an endless source of things to share here, of like the wild what in the heck did you just say to me stuff. Like the beautiful voicemail I got about a month ago of my sweet son saying, "Mama, did you know that unicorns fart rainbows?" Like, I had to listen to that like 20 times. Like, what? He's 3. He loves unicorns. He meant it.
Well, I mean, he's not trying to taste that rainbow.
Right? Ew. So hey, viewers out there, join our group. I just made it an open group on Facebook, the Modern Mommies group. So join that group, and if you have something you want to share for this segment of My Kid Said What, send us a short little clip, and I'll read it on air. Because, man, kids say some cute and wild stuff. Such as, okay, so I walk in the bathroom the other day, and my son is sitting on the step stool just totally hunched over and looking like grief, like he had grief. I've never seen my son with grief. And I said, "Honey, what is wrong?" And he said, "Mama, I'm just worried about you because you don't have a penis." I was like, "I'm worried about me because I have not had coffee yet. What are we talking about?" I said, "Honey, it's okay. Like, I'm a woman." And first of all, he said, "No, I'm not a woman, I'm a mama." But that's another story. But I said, "But baby, it's okay. Like, I'm a woman, and like girls don't have penises, and it's totally cool." And I said, like, I hadn't had coffee. It was 7 in the morning. All right. And I said, "And besides, if I had a penis, I wouldn't have been able to get you out of my body." And he goes, "How do babies come out?" And I said, "I'll be right back." And I went to go make some coffee. We dropped it because I didn't know. I don't know how to explain this to a 3-year-old yet. Like, what? So
I just told my son I'm at a mommy's privates. There you go. I just told William, you come out of mom, you grow in mommy's tummy until it's time, and then when it's time, you come out of mommy's privates.
Okay. Well, yeah, I basically said that, but so I put it off. I put it off for like a week because I just wanted to see if it would go away. But then I started noticing him ask other adults, like, to see who will give him the inside scoop. And I was like, all right, he's going to ask the wrong person. I need to have this talk. So finally, it's been like a week, and I sit down with him, and I was like, okay, Zane, because he brought it up again in the bathroom. And I was like, okay, here's the deal. So women have a uterus, and that's where the baby is. You weren't actually in my stomach where my food goes. You were in my uterus. And he's like, okay. And I said, and then I go, okay, so when a man loves a woman, they get together, and then he goes,
No.
Magic. Okay, he goes, magic. And I was like, yes, child, it's magic. And that was it. I haven't heard anything else about it. But like,
yeah, you can do that in stages. You know, I simplified it for William where he was at, but of course now he knows the whole biology of it. But you know, obviously the babies don't come from the stomach. But you know, it was a simplification, and I said, you know, the daddy plants a seed inside of the mommy, and she has an egg, and the seed goes to the egg, and then that makes the baby. And you know,
I was
so
going to give that.
You didn't have to give.
I was going to give that spiel.
That's kind of early. Yeah.
Like, I know it's early. Mm-hmm. I know that. Okay. Mm-hmm. He wasn't letting it up. He wasn't letting it up.
Especially if they're
like, to see a kid sitting in grief crying about how his mommy doesn't have a penis, like, he had been thinking about it for a good long while already, you know? Like, man, go climb a tree, dude. All right, so anyway, yeah, kids. Unicorns fart rainbows? It's the cutest thing. Anyway, okay, so if you've got some stories to share, you know, send them on in and we'll share them live. But now that takes us to, I wanted to have a lighthearted moment too before we start talking about Monsanto, GMOs, and pesticides. Because this is also conspiracy theory talk, but really this is what got me paying attention to pretty much everything, because I am feeding my child and I am creating the cells in his body that are going to be creating the human, the adult that he's going to be, and the emotions he's going to have, and everything. It's all related to diet. So if I am being duped and I am having my child's food is being poisoned, like, I'm going to pay attention to that. So yeah, so y'all have heard me talk before about my thoughts on Monsanto, but what do you have to share, Jennifer Perry? on any of that?
Well, I think one of the things that's interesting is Monsanto has their hands in so many things, and I think more things than what people really realize.
For how long? Like Agent Orange?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, but even started before then, back in like 1902, when they started selling saccharin to Coca-Cola.
What?
So, yeah, this goes way back because they started out as a chemical company. And then I guess they figured out, hey, these chemicals kill people. Let's use them as pesticides.
Food.
Yeah. And then they figured out, whoa, I can make pesticides and sell it and make money, but then I can make seeds and sell those things to people, and then they'll have to use my pesticide, and pretty much now they control all of the food, either through pesticides or their messed up seeds. It's really kind of scary. I think that I read in there that like 90% of all of the corn that we eat in America now is all GMO.
Absolutely.
The cotton and the soy.
Yes, soy. Okay, so soy, unless you are specifically getting organic soy, and even then look into the hormone factor on that, hormone production in the body. I think you're supposed to kind of limit your soy intake. But if you're drinking soy, you're drinking GMO. You're drinking Monsanto. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Unless it specifically says, non-GMO.
Unless it says non-GMO. And really organic is like how you can really know, or if you see the non-GMO label.
You're not. They just passed that law though, where they don't have to label the foods, and so we're not going to really see non-GMO right now because they don't have to put the labels on there.
They don't have to, but the ones that care do. Those are the ones you buy.
Yeah, but sometimes they're using from the research. If they say non-GMO, that may mean that they didn't necessarily use like genetically modified seeds. But they're not promising that, like, the milk in the product or the cow that produced the milk wasn't given synthetic hormones also made by Monsanto.
Which is why Ben & Jerry's, and I'm not sure if they've made the switch over or not, but I think they had sworn to make the switch over to non-GMO, but they didn't want to have to label because of the milk. They feel like and I'm like, Ben & Jerry's, I love you. Like, be good to us. Don't lie to us. Go get some good milk. I will pay an extra. I'm already paying $5 a pint. I'll pay $6. Just like, don't hurt me. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, back to corn. I did see recently. The percentage that I had gotten was 80% genetically modified corn. And people who don't think beyond just the corn that they're eating on a cob or out of a can or freezer or whatever. They need to realize that corn and corn products, corn syrup, it is in every processed food that's out there. So even if you're not physically taking a cob of corn and eating that, you are eating it if you're eating all the processed foods and you're eating corn chips, the whole shebang.
Corn
or I did recently.
Corn and soy both.
Right.
If you're eating anything out of a package, it's probably got at least one or the other in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To bring something to a positive to the corn, I did recently see, I don't know if it was in Illinois or Ohio, it was like one of the the Middle America states, but there's a farmer that's he's going back to non-GMO because there's the customer base for it, and he's grateful because the seed costs him so much less.
Right.
So, we're by our purchasing power. That's the only vote. I always tell people the only vote that counts is the vote that you make with your dollar, because that's the only vote that's heard. Going to the voting stations and the polls, it's a joke. So vote with your dollar. People are doing that more and more. Kellogg's is just going down and down and down. There's so many of these companies that have been on top for years and years and years, have been poisoning us for years and years and years. And they're going down because people are moving away from them. They're supporting companies that care.
And you know what that tells me, Jennifer, Adair, is that people are raising up in their vibration of self-love, because when you start loving yourself and treating yourself as a temple, you start making the choices to honor yourself. You start getting away from all that crap, and so that's really cool. That shows like an upswing in that self-love vibration for the planet.
It's personal empowerment.
Yeah. And loving yourself to make those choices. And I'll tell you, parents out there, or just anybody watching, the first year or two the first year is kind of tough when you start waking up to the ingredients in your food and making these choices. It's kind of tough because you're used to certain things, and so you go start trying to find the organic alternative to that, those cookies you love or whatever, and those are expensive. But after about a year and a half, 2 years, you start developing new things that you're into, that you can make yourself at home or that you love. You're no longer craving those, you know, Oreos like you had before. Now you're really into these other things, and like once you make that transition and your body is no longer craving that chemical crap, like it really gets so much easier, and it's really not as much more expensive as you think it is. So just like take a deep breath and take baby steps, and after a while it'll just be your lifestyle, and your kids won't know anything other than that. You know?
People can be extremely overwhelmed in the beginning of transitioning out of the standard diet. You know, and I recommend that people just take it one little step at a time. You know, just switch out one product at a time and just gradually move into that better lifestyle. And then the other thing is that as far as the cost is concerned, you know, if people want to be short-sighted, yeah, it is more expensive up front, but in the long run, you're not going to have heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and, you know, endocrine issues, all these problems that people have in the long run by eating garbage. So if you look at it in a big picture way, it's so much more tolerable.
Right. Plus, you're happy when you're eating good stuff like that. So, Jennifer Perry, in doing your research, did you happen to see any of what the seeds look like? Like, have you ever seen what a GMO seed looks like?
Let me see if I can pull one up.
They're giant. I mean, I'll be surprised if you find a picture, because I think you're not supposed to know what they look like. But, like, I saw one once, and it was like this big thing, and it was like fluorescent pink. It looked like this little seed was just coated and coated and coated until it was like a big hot pink, like candy looking thing. And then, like, that's the food. It's not supposed to be hot pink, like fluorescent pink corn.
Yeah. Well, because they're infusing it with a bacteria that makes it a pesticide. And so they're really putting just the pesticide inside the corn seed.
And the pesticides killing the bees and causing all kinds of like neurological impairment for children, and getting in the wind and blowing God knows where and getting in our water. And none of these people give a crap. Like, we are allowing these corporations that are supposedly legal people entities that are not people because they have no soul, because it's a corporation that only lives and breathes on money. We are allowing them to destroy our land, to destroy our water, to destroy our minds, to destroy all this stuff. And like, they're not even, it's not even a person. Like, oh my God, the water really pisses me off. Really.
With the genetically modified seed, okay, another health issue many people have is the leaky gut. You know, if you're eating these pesticide-laden and genetically modified pesticide seeds that are going to blow up the stomach of the insects eating on them, well, long term, you know, what is that going to do to a human being? It's going to destroy their intestine. And then you're leaking all the things from your gut into your system and poisoning yourself, as well as not being able to absorb the nutrients from the food that you are eating that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, so to counteract this, there is this really amazing man, and I was trying to pull up a picture of him.
Here,
I really, really appreciate this guy. Hey, actually, let me...
Here you go. I got you one.
You got a picture?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I also want to show a picture of one of the products, the Host Defense products, so people can see the label. So there are two brands of supplements and healing supplements that me as a healer, I know a lot about food. I know a lot about herbs and plants, and I can talk about that stuff all day. But when it comes to actual supplements that you take from a company, I am really, really hesitant to tell somebody to take something if I don't know for sure. So I know we've talked about Global Healing Center before. I know that Dr. Group of Global Healing Center is like neurotic about his supplements being the best of the best, and I know the guy personally and I know his stuff, so I can easily recommend his. This guy is another one. I don't know Paul Stamets personally, but I love his products, and I know that he loves his products and that he has put his passion into creating his products. Reishi mushrooms, Cordyceps mushrooms. This guy has lots of books out, and his mushrooms are really freaking cool. So why? Okay, why are we talking about mushrooms all of a sudden? All right, so he has. There he is. He has come up with a patent a handful of years ago, taking mushrooms and using them as a natural pesticide. And what I know a little bit about Cordyceps mushrooms, Cordyceps, if you want to watch a freaky YouTube video, especially if, like with your kids, it's really freaky. It's like alien freaky. Cordyceps mushrooms put out their spores and they land on ants. And then it becomes like a mental parasite that controls that ant, and that ant like starts doing the bidding for that mushroom and eating whatever it needs to eat for that spore to grow, and then the mushroom grows out of the ant. It's crazy. You watch it. That
mushrooms they're like an alien intelligence. They're wild.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
So the Cordyceps, what he is doing, I'm not sure what his blend is for this this patent that he's got, that Monsanto is worried and concerned because you would no longer need any kind of chemicals. You would just use this. It's taking those spores and doing that, what I just told you, to the insects that eat it. So, like, it's just...
It's really cool. What it actually does, here, I'm going to show y'all a picture of it, is the spores, like, when the ant eats it, the spores go into the ant's body, and it pretty much, like, mummifies the ant from the inside out, and then starts reproducing, and in the process, it kills the ants and, like, 200,000 other species of insects that bother crops. And so then it just literally turns the ant and into part of the fungus.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming that means that then the fungus itself keeps propagating or growing more and more, so you don't have to keep buying the stuff. It's just like,
yes.
Oh, although once you put it that way, I've seen what happened with kudzu in Georgia.
Yeah. Can you see the picture of the ant?
Ah, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how it does it.
Yeah, it just grows it from inside out and starts reproducing, and then in the process, of course, it kills the ant. And so it is some wicked stuff. The more I looked at it, and it kills all kinds of things.
He has got, okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how amazing these mushrooms are, not just for the fact that this guy, okay, and this guy's, read about him or watch a video and just look in his eyes and see, like, this guy comes from love. Like, he is just simply following his joy and his passion to make the world a more awesome place. And his products are awesome. So reishi mushrooms. So a long, like, way back in the day, like in China, like, if you had a reishi mushroom and you didn't give it to the emperor, like, you would die, okay? Because, like, reishi mushrooms are that intense of a healer. They are something amazing called an adaptogen.
Cancer fighter, aren't they?
What is that?
Aren't they a cancer fighter?
Isn't
that one of the cancer fighters?
So reishi mushrooms are something called an adaptogen, and what an adaptogen is, like, mushrooms are so freaky alien cool. So an adaptogen goes into your body and figures out what you need. So it, like, adapts to whatever you're needing, and it goes in and does that.
Intelligence.
Yeah. Paul Stamets, he's got a discussion, like, on TED Talk TV that talks about either the 5 or 7 uses for mushrooms and fungus, and how they can, like, change your life and your health around.
He's got one called called Cordyceps, which is a blend. Sorry about my light situation. Cordyceps, which is a blend between Cordyceps and reishi, and it like mellows you, and I can tell you it works. Cordyceps, like I love his products. So if he cares that much about his products, right? I like that. So. But I'm just really, really interested in seeing what he's going to come out with and what we're going to use it for. But also, like, if the corporations with the money are having their say, nobody's going to hear about this. So that's why we're talking about it here.
Yeah, they're working really hard at kind of squashing that. That's why a lot of people haven't heard about it.
Can I bring up a couple other things about? There's two other things in regard to mushrooms that I read about or watched, and one of them was a TED Talk that she's an Asian woman, and I don't know her name at all, and I've only seen her speak that once, but she created a mushrooms death suit, and basically the suit, you put a corpse in the suit, and it has all these mushroom spores in it, and what it does, it breaks down and purifies the corpse, so that way the corpse is not putting all the toxins that we've eaten throughout our life that's, you know, held up in our bodies, but it's breaking it down and basically making you non-harmful to the environment. It's kind of, you know, morbid, but it's also really awesome because I believe in natural. Yeah, and then there was another thing that I was seeing about mushrooms being able to clean like oil spills and stuff.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Hey, so Jennifer, I want to move on, but I really, really want to share a picture of the products because people need to know about this stuff. So give me just a second, and I will try to figure out. Or can you pull up? Can you pull up just a picture, like a box that shows the logo of Host Defense? I'm like all about supporting this guy right now, big time.
Yeah, you have to support the people who are supporting us.
Right, right. So Paul Stamets with Host Defense, and I wish I knew the guy's name that gave up his CEO pay because I love that guy.
And, Chipotle, going Chipotle.
All his employees.
Here we go. Okay, everybody. So there it is.
Yes.
Look up this Host Defense. Pay attention and go get into it because that stuff's good. And also, we need to be putting our dollars towards love and people that are promoting that and healthy choices.
Love that fungi perfecti.
Right. So it's got a whole line of fungi, medicines and supplements from fungi.
Yeah. All different kinds of mixes of them.
Very cool.
All right. Well, so now let's, since we've been talking about plants, let's bring it along to DIY beauty recipes from your house. Jennifer, you want to go first, Perry, or do you want to get started with my beautiful face shot?
All right, here I go. Ooh, here I go. Don't want to do that. Let's see what I got here.
Hey! So that's me on a Saturday morning.
Can you see the whole thing?
Is that the...
No, you can only...
Yeah.
You can see most of it.
Is that the...
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that on my face, that would be 6 tablespoons of fresh green peas mashed with 2 tablespoons of plain yogurt. No, not... Yeah, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, 6 tablespoons of peas. I used frozen organic peas, whatever. And 1 teaspoon, of mustard, like Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard. Mix it up.
Dijon.
Yeah, you could put it in a blender and have a less chunky experience. You know, it would be helpful. I just didn't. So there you go. I mean, I had chunks of peas falling off my face. The smile was because it was so ridiculous. But my skin felt so good after, and I could feel like the tingling action from the mustard, but then the yogurt is very soothing and softening, and the peas like have all kinds of minerals and goodness in them. So kind of like an emergency mask. So enjoy that.
You ready for your next one?
Okay, yeah, and then next I just wanted to say always, if you have apple cider vinegar, sure. Apple cider vinegar is a great one. You can dilute it and pour it in your hair. You can use it as a toner. Dilute it though, like maybe I think what, like half and half. That is a really good go-to for all kinds of things. Drinking it every day to clean your blood, which cleans your skin. That's just
good. It's good for heartburn too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, yes it is. Acid reflux, totally.
I did not.
People who have issues with that, it's great.
You mix it with a little bit of honey and a little bit of water, and yeah, it does. It works instantly. It's amazing.
I preach it to people all the time when I see them in stores and they're trying to buy Prilosec and all this other garbage. I'm like, apple cider vinegar.
Really?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
With the mother. Gotta have the mother. Gotta have the mother in it.
Organic apple cider vinegar. Apples are notorious for their pesticides.
Yeah, I buy Bragg's, and that's a good product.
Bragg's, yeah. So, and then the third one I want to share with you, this is like my shower, you know, my go-to is honey and sea salt to scrub my face, because salt, what's really great for salt as an exfoliator is that it melts while you're using it, it dissolves, so there are not going to be harsh, jagged edges. You can also use honey and baking soda. Like I have my sea salt, my baking soda, my honey, and my coconut oil, and that's like my shower, basically. But that's a great scrub that you can just throw together in your palm of your hand and go for it. Make it a little bit thicker and do your lips, legs.
Yum.
Salt. I always keep sea salt in my shower because it's a great energetic cleaner. You know, it's good for us to not only clean the surface, but it's a purifier. So it's great for getting rid of those gnats that get attached to us as we go in and out through our days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, that it's great for getting rid of what that gets attached to you?
Like
if in your energetic body.
Oh, yes, it is. It is an energy purifier. That is true. That is true. Reiki healers or anyone that is an energy worker will tell you that if you are feeling run down, like you've just been accosted by other energy, and introverts know exactly what I'm talking about, they always suggest taking a sea salt bath. So that is like a go-to for that. That's true. All right, so what do you have for us, Jennifer Perry?
All right, here we go. First one I have, it's called Mint Chocolate Whipped Body Butter. Ooh. And it's things that you can make just sits around your house. You get half a cup of cocoa butter, half a cup of coconut oil, and then you can put like 20 to 40 drops of like a peppermint essential oil. You mix it all up, and it makes 1.5 cups of that whipped body butter.
Nice.
And so it smells yummy and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you could eat it too. Well, I don't know about the cocoa butter. Never mind. It's making me hungry. I want mint chocolate ice cream now.
Yeah. Next one I have. I found a thing. Y'all can see that one. Yeah. For natural remedies for stretch marks. I was thinking we probably have a lot of either new mommies, but even if you're not a new mommy, it doesn't take long for you to figure out that probably somewhere after you've had the baby there are stretch marks. And so I went and I found the top 3 that I thought were easiest to get. One of them is coconut oil. They said massage that into your skin at least once a day on the stretch marks, and within time it messes with like the composition of your skin, and within time those stretch marks will start to reduce.
I can say too on that for pregnant mamas. I covered myself from head to toe in coconut oil at least once a day. I just kept the jar in the shower, and while I was pregnant, and I didn't have any stretch marks. I mean, I owe it all to coconut oil.
Yeah, I think prevention is probably one of the best things to kind of do. Another one was argan oil, And you can get that like at a drugstore or a natural health food store. And they said the tryptanoids and natural antioxidants in the argan oil help with stretch marks too.
Wow.
Yeah, which I thought was cool.
Oil. Lavender essential oil is also a good one for it.
Really?
Ooh, that's really cool.
I love lavender.
And it smells good.
Yeah.
Jennifer Adair knows a lot about essential oils, so we're gonna have her on to talk about that sometime, about the things that she knows on that department, because we actually we met camping, and then we became reacquainted over a bottle of thieves oil, which I am totally grateful for, that thieves oil. So
yeah, we do. Okay, last one I have. It takes kind of a combination of a couple of things. Egg whites, and you go and you beat them until they're like lathery. You put them on the stretch marks, let it stay on there until it dries, and then rinse them with either with warm water, and then apply either argan oil or coconut oil on there. And they said you could use it once a day or twice a day, but it really worked on stretch marks too.
Interesting.
So like kind of combining all of them, I guess.
I wonder if that one would work faster than just using the oil alone, because it would be so hard to maintain that practice unless it's something that you only are doing for like a couple of weeks, you know?
Yeah.
But egg whites
are internal. We have to look at what vitamins that we're having internally. Like, of course, vitamin E is notorious for having skin elasticity. Any nutritional things that we can take internally as well to support, so you hit it from the inside and the outside.
Lots of fat and oils. Fats and oils are really good for maintaining all kinds of suppleness, you know. We're taught to stay away from fats and oils, and we're not even taught the difference between healthy plant fats and like crap chemical ones. But the healthy fats, like this today, I made a smoothie. I needed a nap. I'm so tired, but I didn't have time, so I made a smoothie and threw in like hemp oil and flaxseed oil and like all this. It was a very oily, but it was so good. And then after I drank it, I was like, yeah, I could tell my body needed that.
William and I are working on strengthening and remineralizing our teeth using I think it's a Garden of Life product. It's called Oceans 3 Beyond Fish Oil. And I did a lot of research when he had gotten some cavities, and basically it's nutritional deficient. So I don't want them drilling on his teeth. I don't want them, putting artificial stuff in his mouth. And so we're going to go back in 6 months and see what it looks like. But yeah, we're doing that. It seems to be, from all the reviews, a really good product, and the proof will be in the pudding when we get there. So.
Wow, that's really cool. I want to hear about that once you find out, because that's a really great thing for us to talk about, is healing your teeth naturally, because that's a true thing. It's a true thing with food.
Well, oil pulling is indispensable in that regard, but you've got to hit it from a nutritional standpoint as well. But oil pulling and oregano oil added to your coconut oil that you're pulling with is just awesome.
Wow. Wow. Did you have any more on your list, Jennifer Perry? Was that?
Yeah, that's about it. You want to go to Hot Daddy?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, I didn't transition very well on that segment, but yes. Wait. Let's see. What can I still save it? Can she? Where is my? Hang in there with me, everybody. I've got. All right, drum roll, please. All right, without further ado, this week's Hot Daddy of the Week, I am nominating a friend of mine. I don't usually do that, but there is a reason. Yes, and you actually, I think you know this one, Jennifer Adair.
I do.
I'm nominating Mario Quijano as this week's Hot Daddy of the Week. And the reason why is because I am so impressed with, so there he is. There's Mario with his 8-month-old son, Oliver. And that's a picture of them right now at his yoga space that no longer looks like that. They're having their grand opening this weekend. Namaste Yoga. But
Awesome.
but so that's the thing. This is what I'm so impressed by. So so like my story. So my story with my son's father is I'm a single mom since Zane was an infant, basically, and we have issues and we don't get along very well, and it's really hard on me because I am, as a single mother of a young child, I am the default parent always, and it's just always me, always. And I don't feel like I have a lot of support. Well, Mario has gone out of his way with the mother of his child to build this really beautiful relationship, and they spend so much time working on that, on making sure that they are both spending time together with their son, so that he sees that, even though it's not the relationship that is usual or normal. And so also on top of that, he's just opening his yoga space, which is a big deal. So he spends all of his time either teaching yoga or doing this so that he can support his son. And every single moment he has that he's not busting his butt working, he goes and hangs out with his son and his son's mother, and they go out to lunch and things like that all the time. So it's a really amazing thing. And to me, it's inspiring. I am now taking baby steps to work towards having some kind of friendship like that with my son's father, because it is such an important thing. And hearing a father know that the most incredible thing he can do for his child is support in a warm, nurturing way to support his child's mother, even though they are not like technically together in the normal sense. It is that to me is fantastic to hear a single dad like being not selfish and actually seeing and understanding that that is a beautiful missing link. Having the child of the mother of your child not be stressed out and tired all the time is a great gift to everyone involved, I will tell you. So for that, Mario, salute you, sir, and honor you as this week's Modern Mommy's Hot Daddy of the Week. Well done. Keep it up. All right. I don't normally nominate myself, like people myself, but that one really, like today I had a conversation with my son's dad, and I was like, okay, look, let's do this, because that is inspiring. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's Modern Mommies here on soulgarden.tv. You can find us at modernmommies.me also. You can find us on Facebook, find our group, the Modern Mommies group on Facebook, and you can say hi there, or send us any kind of information you want us to share live on the air. Like my kid said, what? That would be great. Send us some of those. You can also, if you have a hot daddy at home, or if you know one that is a stellar daddy, if you know a stellar daddy and would like to see them honored live on Modern Mommies, send us a picture and a brief reason why. You can either send it at modernmommies.me, or you can send it on the Facebook group, the Modern Mommies Facebook group. So go ahead and send those in. Don't be shy. We love honoring wonderful daddies. Yes, and really it's like the hottest thing ever is when a dad is a good dad. So we'll be back here. We are now shooting every other week. Where moms and stuff happens. So we're now shooting every other week, Thursdays at about either 6 or 7 p.m.
You can
find us on YouTube, though. You can always find us on YouTube at the Soul Garden, on the Soul Garden channel of YouTube, and you can find all of our past shows there. We talk about all kinds of wild stuff. You never know. It's not only about potty training infants, okay? So we'll probably see you. I'm not sure if it's going to be next week or 2 weeks from now. I'm not really sure what schedule we're on, but when we do that, we'll see you then.
We'll be there.
Live at soulgarden.tv. All right. Until then, live, love, be.